No pet owner wants their dog to be in pain, but since dogs can't tell us when something is wrong, it's up to us to recognize the signs that they may give us. If you aren't sure what this looks like, no worries. Here are 14 signs that your dog is crying out for help. Sudden aggression. Like humans, dogs have bad days. Once they get older, they may start to have more moody days than happy days, but that's generally just part of aging. When your relatively young pet suddenly starts to become aggressive, there could be a problem. Your dog could be experiencing pain or have an infection. Appetite loss. Most of the time, dogs will gladly scarf down their entire bowl of food or steal that unattended sandwich from the table. Dogs will often eat things that aren't even food, too. This being said, a dog who seems to be eating less or who has stopped eating for longer than 24 hours is one who needs medical attention. A loss of appetite can mean infection, parasites, gastric disease, diabetes, and even cancer in some cases. Hiding. A pet who goes from craving your attention to hiding under the bed all day might be in bad shape. Pets who suddenly start to hide could be stressed out or have an invisible illness wreaking havoc in their body. In dogs, it's important to take hiding as a bad sign, as dogs are less likely to hide for no reason than cats. Postural changes. When your tummy or joints hurt, you might have an instinct to stretch the area. Dogs have this instinct too. So if your dog starts to display odd positions, such as the prayer position, which means bum up, front down, and legs rigid, he might be having abdomen problems. Other positions that indicate a problem include the sawhorse, rigid legs outstretched, and a back that hunches or arches. Lack of energy. Although this is a bigger concern in puppies and young dogs, general disinterest in exercise or active pastimes can be an indication that your furry friend is ill or has a physical problem that is hurting them. Increased urination coupled with drinking a lot. If your dog is house trained and suddenly starts to urinate all over the house, or needs to go outside more often, it might be due to some kind of illness. Namely, a dog who drinks a lot and then urinates frequently might be battling diabetes or a kidney problem. This is because the illness causes them to be dehydrated despite the excessive amount of water they're taking in. Swollen abdomen. While some pet owners will notice that their best friend's tummy seems to swell after a particularly large meal, there is a point in which a swollen tummy becomes a concern. A distended abdomen, that is, a large and swollen tummy, can reveal several different problems. It can be a sign of a hormonal imbalance, an infection, a digestive disease, or internal bleeding. Undiagnosed, this problem can make it hard for your dog to breathe as it puts pressure on the lungs. Crying or whining. Crying or whining can indicate that your dog is experiencing some kind of pain. If you start to pet your dog and they whine or keep distance from you, you know there is something wrong. Too much fur loss. All dogs shed, but no healthy dog sheds enough to leave bald patches behind. So if you notice unusual clumps of hair on the floor or large patches of bare skin on your pet's back, a vet visit is necessary. Too much shedding can be an indication of skin disease. In some cases, it can also be due to a vitamin deficiency, an allergy, or an overload of stress. Changes in maintenance habits. Dogs are known for their almost obsessive licking and grooming. They do this to keep their coat shiny and healthy, and they do it frequently. When your dog starts to neglect their grooming routine, it may be time for a checkup. Your dog could be suffering from a range of ailments that cause fatigue, which would explain the undoing of their grooming habits. Excessive licking. As we mentioned, dogs like to lick themselves, you, your couch, you name it. But when your pooch starts to lick themselves obsessively, there's likely a reason. Dogs will lick an area a lot if there's pain in that area. Commonly, dogs with sore paws or legs will lick them. They could also be suffering from fleas, which cause itchiness. Sometimes, licking means gastrointestinal issues are at play, especially if your pet starts to lick strange surfaces. Trouble getting up. When your dog seems to take ages to stand up, he's probably not feeling well. A dog who takes a long time to pull themselves into a standing position is probably experiencing some sort of pain, such as arthritis. Arthritis tends to be especially bothersome in the morning or when it's cold outside. He may also be suffering from internal disease that causes a loss of strength and energy. Sleeping longer than usual. On average, a full-grown dog sleeps for about 14 hours per 24-hour cycle. Puppies, older dogs, and certain breeds tend to need even more rest. If you notice your dog is suddenly sleeping longer than usual, it may be a sign of diabetes, infections, thyroid gland issues, or stress. Dilated pupils. Dogs' eyes look much like human eyes. Pupils and irises are always visible. They react to things such as light and pain much like human eyes do. Random pupil dilations, or pupils that are large for an extended period of time, can be a telltale sign that something hurts. Pupil dilation is connected to an increase in adrenaline, which surges when something hurts. Gums changing color. Normally your dog's gums are a healthy shade of pink, with the exception being certain breeds like chows. So when you catch a glimpse of those gums and they're not pink and vibrant, your pet could be suffering from some kind of sickness. Gums that are redder than usual can indicate a dental issue, especially if the redness is right above the teeth, while bleeding gums can be a sign of trauma or infections. Pale gums that lack color are usually a sign of blood loss. This is because gums get their bubblegum pink color from blood flowing beneath the surface. In addition, gums that have ulcers or an unpleasant odor should be taken as a warning sign. Coughing. A dog who coughs is a dog feeling unwell. This is a rule of thumb and not always fact. However, it's worth taking your pet to the vet when you observe them coughing. Coughing can be a result of breathing difficulties in breeds with pushed-in faces such as pugs. These breeds are prone to airway blockages and sinus problems in the first place. A non-pushed-in face dog who coughs likely has what's known as kennel cough. This is the doggy equivalent to a cold, and it generally passes within a few weeks. From simple signs like trouble getting up to signs that are much harder to catch like pupil dilation, your dog's body can tell you if something's wrong. To show your dog the most love possible, you'll want to catch signs of illness or pain as soon as possible.